Welcome back guys, Sherry here. Now I just did a video on how to kill Lynels by using puffshrooms. If you haven't seen it and you would like to check that out, I will leave a link in the description. However, there's a better way and a faster way we can actually kill these guys. But once again, it doesn't require any skill. So I'm going to show you exactly how we can do this and exactly what you need to be able to do this. And guys, we can still use the puffshrooms. That's why this is going to require zero skill whatsoever. But basically, we're going to kill each Lynel in under 6 hits per Lynel just by using bone proficiency. And I'm going to show you how to get it. And this may seem like a lot of setup to some of you, but here's the thing. Once you get your weapon set up and you get the armor that you need and you know how to do it, you can keep this weapon for the entire game and just use it on Lynels. Now the first thing we want to do is make our way to the castle. The best way to get there is to jump from Lookout Landing. Now depending on how much stamina you have, you may want to pack yourself a lunch and make yourself some stamina replenishing foods or elixirs. Best way to do that is just to cook up some crickets, which we can find by cutting grass, and we just want to cook up some crickets with a monster part because crickets are considered critters. Therefore, you have to cook it with a monster part or you're going to get dubious food. And the more crickets you put into it, the more stamina it's going to refill. Now you can also cook yourself up some stam bulbs. And the same thing applies, guys. The more stam bulbs you put into it, the more stamina you're going to refill. But I do suggest that you pack yourself either one of these just so you can have some more stamina. And guys, I'm using the glide suit, but you don't have to have it to get here. But if you'd like to know where to get it, which you can also get it relatively early in the game, I'm going to leave a link in the description. But we're just going to head right over here on the left-hand side of the castle. You're going to see this little bridge. Now you can land on this bridge, but be really careful because when you do, it's going to break out from underneath you. So you may want to try to land a little closer to the opening. Once we make it into the opening, we're just going to drop down and run to the back, where we are going to find a Royal Guards Claymore. And here is the location on the map, and it's located on B1 of the castle. Now let's go back to Lookout Landing. Now guys, when you're in the castle, if you go to the map and you're not aware, all you have to do is hit the X and it's going to take you back to the world map. Then let's just go back to Lookout Landing and we're going to jump back to the castle again. But this time, we're going to go through the front door. Now, when you get in here, you don't have to worry about enemies. There's no enemies in here, so just run straight in until you see these steps. Run up the steps, and then you're going to run up a second set of steps until you kind of see, I guess, a boulder laying on the steps. Right behind this boulder, behind some of this rubble, we're going to find another Royal Guards Claymore. Now, if we just kind of run around through here, we're going to find a Royal Guards Bow. Let's get both of these. And if you jump down and run up these steps, you will end up finding a Royal Guard shield and a Royal Guard sword. We don't need those, but those are some good weapons to grab. And all of these weapons will respawn after a blood moon. So all you have to do is come back here after a blood moon and you can collect these weapons all over again. Now what we have to do next, guys, is you want to turn your sages off for this. If you have Tulin or anybody, you need to go ahead and dismiss them because we're looking for these little guys which are called an Octorok and they will kill them. Now when you find one, take a picture of these guys. That way you can just target them with your sensor and they're easy to find. However, you will find several right up through here in the Elden region. But all we have to do here, guys, is just lay our claymore right in front of this Octorok. Now he's going to suck it up, he's going to shine it up, and then he's going to spit it out with a modifier. And it doesn't matter what modifier the first Octorok we encounter gives you because we're going to do this a second time with another Octorok because we need 2 modifiers on this claymore. And once they have it in their mouth, you don't have to wait on the animation. You can go ahead and kill it because each Octorok, they can only do this once in their life cycle. So you might as well kill it and just let it respawn on the next blood moon. But now the second modifier is extremely important, guys, because we want to get a plus 10 attack modifier on this Royal Guards Claymore. So before you encounter this second Octorok, save your game. And then you're just going to save and reload until you get this modifier. It can be tedious, but they will eventually give it to you. Now there are a couple more things that you're going to need, and I'm just going to assume that you have them. And that is the bomb flower, puffshrooms, and sundelion. Now the bomb flowers and the puffshrooms, we get these in the depths. I do suggest you set your sensor to them and then use your ultra hand because they will glow. And you can find both of these right under Hyrule Field in the depths. Now the sundelions, you're going to get those on the Sky Islands. However, you can collect the sundelions in Hyrule Field. There are some that grow there, but you need to get yourself all 3 of these. And these will respawn, so just check back often and you can always find more. And one more thing you're going to need is a rocket. Now guys, you're probably only going to need one, which we can get right here from this device dispenser, and it's easy to get to from the Hyrule Field Skyview Tower. And a couple more things you're going to need, guys, one of which is a Molduga jawbone. Now, if you don't know how to kill a Molduga or you don't know where to find a Molduga, you can click the link in the upper right-hand corner. I'll also leave a link in the description. And the next thing we're going to need is the Radiant Armor. Now, guys, if you don't know where to get that, I will leave a link in the description. But this Radiant Armor has to be enhanced twice by a fairy. Each piece has to be enhanced twice by a fairy to give you the bone weapon proficiency. So just keep that in mind. If you don't have that, it's not going to work. The next thing we want to do is let's cook ourselves up some food. Make yourself some heart replenishing food, but most importantly, we want to make a 3 times attack power. Now we can do this just by cooking up 5 mighty bananas, and that's going to give us a 3 times attack power for 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So cook yourself up a couple of those. Now the next thing you're probably going to need, just in case these Lynels hit you, you're going to need some gloom recovery foods. And that's what the sundelion is for. It will restore gloom hearts. Now if you cook up 1 sundelion, it's going to restore 3 hearts. If you cook up 2, it's going to restore 6 hearts. However, it's just going to restore the gloom. It's not going to actually fill your hearts. But you can mix the sundelion with, let's say, some chicken or meat or something. It will recover the gloom hearts, and then it will also fill a couple of your hearts. So you also want to cook yourself up some of these. And if you would like to get some extra temporary hearts, the yellow hearts, you can cook up 1 Hearty salmon. That's going to give you 4 extra temporary hearts. However, you can cook up 5 Hearty salmon, and that is going to give you an extra 20 temporary hearts. Now, if you don't know where to find the Hearty salmon, you can click the link in the upper right hand corner. I'll also leave a link in the description. Okay, now let's set our weapons up, and this is the most important, guys. Let's equip our Royal Guard's Claymore, and then let's take a Molduga jawbone, and we're just going to fuse it to our Royal Guard's Claymore. Now, as you can see, it already went from 32 to 42 because we have the attack up from the Octorok. And now it has gone from a 42 to a 74 just by equipping the Molduga jawbone. But we're going to even double it further than this. What we want to do here is just slam this on the ground. Just do a charge attack until Link slams this on the ground. And just continue to do this over and over again until we get the notification that our weapon is badly damaged. Now, this is critical here, guys. When you get that notification that says your weapon is badly damaged, you need to hit this on the ground 2 more times. Now, if you hit it 3 times, it's going to break. So only slam it on the ground 2 more times after you get this notification, because we want to bring this weapon to its total breaking point. Now, as you can see, I just got the notification. So now it's up to 148. But let's slam this on the ground 2 more times. Now, it's not going to change in your inventory. It's still going to say 148, but trust me, the damage output of this weapon is going to increase. Try it both ways. You can see for yourself. But now let's fuse a rocket to our shield. Once we get it fused to our shield, let's unequip that because we're going to use that at the end. Let's go ahead and equip our Royal Guard's bow, unless of course you have a bow that's stronger. And then I'm going to drop a few bows out of my inventory just because I want to be able to pick up the bows that the Lynels drop. So if you want to pick up some bows, you might want to open up some of your inventory space. Then let's go ahead and equip our Radiant Armor. And for those of you that may have skipped forward in this video, each piece of this Radiant Armor needs to be enhanced twice by a fairy for this to work. And the next thing I'm going to highly suggest is that you save your game, guys. This is going to take the anxiety away from dying or losing anything. And here is my location on the map, guys. The best place to find these Lynels is at the floating Colosseum in the depths. And it's right underneath the Colosseum ruins if you're looking on the surface. And one of the best ways to get there is you can drop down in this chasm, the Great Plateau North Chasm. And you can kind of make your way around and reach the floating Colosseum. Now the next thing we need to do is let's eat our 3 times attack power right when we get into the Colosseum. And then the first Lynel is going to come out right in front of us. And guys, I told you, this is not going to require any skill. We can shoot a puff shroom towards this gate that's going to open, and then we can kind of run towards the cloud of smoke. He's going to have a question mark or an arrow above his head, so we can easily keep up with him. Now, I did run up on him and he saw me, so he's going to attack here, but we can always run back, or we can always just throw another puff shroom, because all we want to do is mount him. And I'm just trying to show you guys, we actually don't even have to stun him to be able to mount him. If he has that question mark above his head, he's just standing there looking kind of stupid, we can mount him without stunning him. And as you saw, it only took 3 hits for me to kill this very first Lynel. Now, I did throw some puff shrooms at my feet. That way I could go ahead and pick up his items if I want to. And guys, when you pick up these Lynel bows, I highly suggest that you just go ahead and equip them, because they're all going to be multi-shot bows, and it's so much easier to get a headshot if that's what you want to do. Like right here, I just used some eyeballs. We can get a headshot, but you might not be able to get close enough to him in time before he stands up. Now, we can parry these guys. If you feel comfortable parrying them, we can always just parry them and then hit him with an arrow. That will stun him, and then we can mount him. But guys, again, you can always use the puff shrooms. And right here, as you can see, it only took 4 hits to kill this second Lynel. And again, all I did was just throw some puff shrooms at my feet. That way I could go ahead and collect the items that he has. This next Lynel, I didn't even bother to try to get a headshot. I just threw some puff shrooms and he was just standing there. But as you can see, it only took 5 hits to take him down. And once again, guys, I did throw some puff shrooms at my feet because I really like to go ahead and at least collect the bow that they drop. But this next one, I tried to use some eyeballs. It sounded like it gave him a headshot, but when I got up on him, he was still standing. He wasn't kneeling. So I had to hit him again. But then once I mounted him, this one took 6 hits to finally take him down. And guys, when you're hitting these Lynels, be extremely careful. This is why I say save your game in the beginning. It is so easy to just try to keep hitting these Lynels. And when you do, you're going to slam your weapon on the ground. And then you're going to break it. It is very easy to do until you get used to it. Now this last Lynel, this is where we're going to need our shield that is fused with a rocket, guys. All I did was just get up in the air because this last Lynel has armor on him. And all we got to do is just use some bomb flowers until we can take this armor off of him. Now he's going to have a yellow bar above his head. When that yellow bar disappears, that's when his armor is gone. Now this is also where your stamina replenishing foods or elixirs can come in really handy here. If you want to stay up in the air and just continue pelting him with bomb flowers, just drink or eat one of your elixirs or your meals and then just go ahead and get a few more shots on him. But now once you finally hit him and you drop to the ground, if you have given him a headshot, he will be kneeling. And then we can just go ahead and mount him. And as you can see right here, this last Lynel, it only took me 5 hits to take him down. And that's because I got so many headshots while I was up in the air. So just be really careful when you're hitting these Lynels, guys, or you're going to do exactly what I did and you're going to slam your weapon on the ground and it's going to break. But now if you would like to see where you can get unlimited bomb flowers, fire fruit, and ice fruit, click here. And I hope this helps, guys. If you enjoy content like this, show me with a like. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. And I'll just catch you guys next time.